What's up, everybody? Welcome to VGU.TV's PlayStation podcast, The DualShock Show. With me this week, as usual, is Allan Muir.
Hey!
Nate Hohl is with us this week.
Hey there.
And the return of Tom Freeman!
Back from the dead.
Hey!
Dead laptops, at least, anyway.
How have you been, Tom?
It's been a bit annoying, to be honest. You don't realise how much you rely on your laptop till it dies. So, yeah, it's good to be back.
I had a similar story, if I can share this with you real quick, before we move on. Yesterday, my laptop was dying. Now, my laptop is kind of old. It's like 3 years old. So I don't, and the charge cable that I have is fairly new. So it makes me wonder if it's the laptop's fault. But anyway, so sometimes my charge cable, my laptop has some trouble charging.
Right.
I have to twist the cable in the socket and try and get the right angle so it will charge properly.
Yeah.
So yesterday I'm just twisting it every which way. I've got like 30 minutes left, and I'm like, oh, I want to charge. I'm like really frustrated. I'm like, if this automatically hibernates, I'm never gonna know if I get the right angle. And then it shuts down. It shuts down because I couldn't find it. I was like, why wouldn't it charge? And I'm preparing myself. I'm like, I gotta go to Central Computer. I gotta find out how much I can't afford to fix this.
Yeah.
And before, and I go and take a shower. I go and I get dressed and I get ready to go. And then I look down at the bundle of wires. Or no, I went to unplug the charge cable from the power strip, and I pull it up, and my charge cable has two pieces. So it's like a cable that goes on the end that goes into the laptop, and then a cable that runs down, and then what looks like kind of a battery pack.
Yeah.
You know, like one of those AC adapters.
Mm-hmm.
And then a plug-in that will lead in to the power strip. It was unplugged in the plug-in.
Oh.
I was like, God damn it! So, needless to say, computer is fine now.
Took mine to a repair shop because, so worried. So I went there, got a quote, and they're like, 300, around £300. So I don't know, that's pretty much the same, just put dollars. Sounds similar. But, yeah, and I was like, I can't really afford this. So, I was looking at all my paperwork, and apparently I was still under warranty, luckily. So, but it was on a weird warranty where they'd only, come to my where I live to fix it. So I had to, deal with customer services, so, direct phone call to India, and had to, repeat everything about 80 times and then get put on hold and sent to someone else and repeat the same things. But yeah, so they sent someone out and they took my laptop apart and put a new motherboard in, and it still wasn't working. So, and then I was like, oh dear, this is like the end. But no, they went and replaced the motherboard yet again on a different date, and it worked. Magic. So, and all my stuff's still here, so that's the main thing. That's excellent. It sounds like it was a real pain, so I'm really happy that you're back. So, with that said, why don't we get back to what have we been playing? Tom, why don't you start us off? Well, I haven't been playing too much. I've recently started playing GTA Online on the racing. Uh-huh. Which it's like a Freeman racing. It's kind of like I think it's even called Cannonball Run. But, you just start off on foot, and you have to, get any vehicle and just race each other to, a point across the map. And, the servers have been pretty busy, so I've been having a lot of fun with that. I've been playing Mass Effect 2, but not really playing it, just doing planet scanning, just because I can listen to the podcasts and then just scan planets, because I thought... Yeah.
You would think that there'd be a trophy for
scanning
every planet in the solar system, right? There isn't.
No, that's something
and I should have checked the trophy list beforehand, so I learned that the hard way.
No, because I haven't had my laptop for a while, so I've been trying to listen to all the podcasts. I got a backlog of podcasts, so I've been trying to listen to all of those. So I've just been, sat there playing Mass Effect 2, scanning planets while listening. So that's been good, picking up all those anomalies. But, yeah, I've got over 100,000 in each element, so it's going well. And then on my Dark Souls solo run, if you remember, I was doing that game without any sort of help. I've rung the second bell, and on my way to fight the snakes in Sen's Fortress, so, you know, slow and steady, but I'm getting there. So yeah, that's about it for me. So.
Before I move on to you, Nate, I wanted to make a comment about Mass Effect. Last week was my birthday week, and against my better judgment, I picked up the Mass Effect 3, or the Mass Effect trilogy at my GameStop.
All right.
I was like, I don't think I have enough money to spare this, but I'm getting it. So I got it, and I wanted to say that I'm planning on playing. I don't even know I got it now because I have so many games to play. I won't be able to play it till like June. So, but I am planning to be a female biotic and a renegade as well. So that'll be fun. And thank you, BioWare and EA or whoever was in charge of the DLC for putting most of the single-player campaign DLC in on the disc of Mass Effect 2. So thanks for that, because I only had to buy a rival.
So have you tried it at all then, the Mass Effect 1 on the PlayStation?
I haven't yet. No.
Yeah, 'cause I really want to know how that works out, because I do want to pick it up at some point. But
I have so much to play right now, but we'll get to that in a little while. Nate, please. I'm sorry, I stepped on your toes.
Oh, it's okay.
Tell me what you've been playing.
Oh, let's see. Well, obviously, I've been playing a lot of Ascension for my review.
That's right. That review is up on
else?
VGU.TV.
That it is. Besides that, not too much. I've been playing some of the free-to-play Uncharted 3, but I got to the rank 15, which is the highest rank that it allows before you have to pay to unlock more. So I'll probably, at some point, take the plunge and unlock the other, whatever, how many ranks there are, and then start doing that again. But yeah, for now, I mean, I think that I'm glad that I'm really enjoying the Ascension multiplayer, because I definitely was kind of worried about it. But yeah, no, I'm having a lot of fun with it, and I'm sure I'll be playing more of it in the coming days.
Good. We're going to talk a little bit more about God of War Ascension in a little while. But in the meantime, what else have you been up to, Nate, on the PlayStations?
Oh, man. Nothing too much. I've been sort of just working through a lot of other things this week, so I haven't really had much time to play. I mean, I think Ascension's the first chance I've gotten to play like a game for the past couple of days. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm obviously, if you read my review, you'll see that I really liked it, and I'll keep playing it in the future.
Excellent. Allan, how about you?
I recently bought about like 8 or 9 games from GameStop Online.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Jeez.
They're used. They're used, so you can dial back that excitement. For some reason, I decided to put Red Faction Armageddon on there.
I did not like that game, personally.
Is that the more linear one? The one in the tunnels?
Yeah. I bought it thinking it'd be like...
Oh, no, wait, I'm thinking of Gorilla, but either way.
I loved Gorilla so much.
I wasn't a fan, but I mean, go on, I'm sorry.
Man, it's like they wanted to be Dead Space, underground, on Mars, but it is so bad.
You don't, Armageddon is not a good game.
The beginning where you're like fighting against dudes is awesome, but the minute you start fighting, the minute you go bug hunting underground is where things just fall apart. And it's like I'm
so frustrated. He's like, God damn it!
I'm literally at a loss for words over how bad this game is.
Oh, I played the demo and it seems really, a step back. I wasn't a fan of Gorilla.
Well, speaking of Dead Space, I actually felt that Dead Space 3 was the same way, the Dead Space 3 demo, as far as compared to Dead Space 2. I thought that was a step back.
I'm not getting Dead Space 3, despite how much I love the original 2.
I'm going to play it, but I mean, I don't expect to like it as much as the previous ones. I'll probably still like it, though.
What else did you get, Alan?
I got Killzone 2.
Ooh.
For about, like, $6, which is so
worth it. One of the hardest platinums ever.
Oh, I gave up. I got all the single-player ones, though. I'm stupid.
The God of War collection.
How is that?
The God of War collection is actually pretty good.
I see. I've never played a God of War, so I was interested in picking that up.
The first 2 games are really good. Less frustrating. Less frustrating. Well, actually, probably more frustrating because I played them on PS2, so I didn't bother with trophies. So I was playing on like easy or some shit.
Yeah.
So.
Homefront. Which
How is that?
Homefront? What are you doing?
That was like 4 hours long.
I put it in my PS3. It installed up to 78%, then just stopped.
Your PlayStation tried to spit it out. It's like, no.
Actually,
don't do
What
it
are you
to
doing
me.
to me?
it was stuck at 78% for about 10, maybe 20 minutes. So I decided, hey, I'm gonna turn it off, see what happens. I turn it back on. I try again. It won't load again.
It won't load.
So
Have you tried deleting the game data utility it tried to save, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but ever since I took the game out, something's been wrong with my PS3.
Oh dear.
It's been making weird noises.
Made it ill.
Let this be a lesson to you, children.
Don't buy Homefront.
Don't buy bad games.
Don't buy used games.
Don't buy Homefront, especially. I heard that Homefront is really short, like 4.5 hours. So
Yeah, it is just really short.
like you put it in, it's just like the title screen is like Homefront, and then credits roll.
Thanks.
Platinum trophy.
Yeah, also played some more Tomb Raider.
Oh.
Oh, the new one.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
Every time I skip a cutscene, some crazy shit goes down. I decided I'm gonna skip this cutscene because I want to get through play as much quickly. And then Lara's just like on the ground with the bow aiming. Then like wolves are coming at her. I'm like, what? And then it just slows down as I shoot a wolf in the face with an arrow.
Oh man,
Arrow
that was
time.
so awesome.
And I'm like, what the hell's going on in this island?
So you shouldn't have skipped that cutscene. That's what happened.
Then I got my throat ripped out by wolves again.
Yeah, those deaths are really brutal.
And I'm thinking the Three Stooges theme over Tomb Raider gameplay would be perfect. 'Cause things are constantly going wrong for her. Either that or the Curb Your Enthusiasm theme.
I've never actually watched that show. I've always wanted to, though.
Oh, you should.
It's really good.
HBO has great TV programming, but I don't have those channels. So HBO Go is like not. I can't do that either because I want to watch all of The Sopranos without having to buy it. But I don't think they catalog all those episodes.
There are other ways.
I have standards, Alan.
He meant buying DVDs. What are you talking about, Matt?
I'm talking about Netflix.
What are you talking about, Matt?
No, didn't I just say I wanted to watch it without buying them?
They could shop left.
So
So that's
there's no
different.
way you're talking about DVDs.
Yeah. Then I played some MLB 13 before the audio just it made like it was making a tearing sound. And now it's off. I'm not going to play it for a while because I'm scared of what's going to happen next.
A frightening time.
But
PlayStation's living a nightmare at the moment.
I'd be like a nightmare if that was my PlayStation. Oh my god, what am I going to do?
PlayStation just kill me.
I can't put my PlayStation!
But before that, I did squeeze in some Joe Danger too.
Oh, PlayStation Plus, you just got that for free.
Yeah, I never knew that they hired the test driver or not. Was it in that game? Was it Test Drive?
I have no idea. I've never played Joe Danger.
No, Stuntman.
Oh, Stuntman?
Yeah, that game is exactly like Stuntman.
I've never played Stuntman.
I played the demo. That was quite good, actually. That's where you had to recreate the movie scenes and stuff.
It's very simple. You're a stuntman, stunt driver, and you're just supposed to land these awesome shots as like a volcano explodes, or
That's pretty awesome.
a town explodes, or a mountain explodes.
That sounds
There's
like fun.
a lot of
World.
exploding going on.
Sounds like a lot of simple fun.
Yeah, and it is pretty fun. Like doing backflips in like a minecart, skiing, doing like these incredible leaps while skiing.
Minecarts are always fun, I think. Those were my favorite levels in Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah, and I was about to play Game of Thrones, the game, but then I didn't because I hate it.
Well, the game.
I didn't because I hate it.
So I've been looking at a few videos of that. So I'm torn because I need another RPG like Dragon Age. It kind of looks like Dragon Age. So.
Buy Divinity 2. That's much better.
I haven't even played Dragon Age 2 yet.
Oh, don't.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
That was among the games I traded in to get Tomb Raider, God of War Ascension.
It's so good.
I know, but they Mass Effected it. They made it all simple.
Mass Effect is a great game.
It is a great game, but you don't
RPG.
not for
Dragon Age.
It's like dipping a cookie in marinara sauce.
Hey, I like marinara sauce.
It's so depressing, and like even just playing it is so depressing.
What, Game of Thrones? Yeah.
Yeah, like.
Is it really bad? That bad?
Well, the only thing I enjoyed was the main menu. They play the Game of Thrones theme.
So what's wrong with the game, like, specifically?
Yeah, review it for me right now.
What's so bad about it then? No,
You're pretty much, you play as two guys, and as,
play as two guys, you don't play as one.
Yeah, you play, one is
Siamese twins.
Member of the Night's Watch. The other is a lord of a small area trying to get back his titles.
Yeah.
Because he went away to Bravos and became like a priest for the Red God.
Alright, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is really like what Season 2 was about.
So is the voice acting bad? Or?
Well, they got Varys and they got Jorah Mormont.
Oh, they actually got voice actors. That's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
They have voice actors, but they only got those two.
Alright. Well, so Jorah's cool.
Yeah, he does. It does sound great, but the other voice actor seems like they phoned it in, especially one of the main characters. The Night's Watch guy sounds like someone you'd find in either God of War or Darksiders, playing like a monster. And the other guy you play as sounds like Carlos from the Resident Evil movies.
I didn't watch those movies because I take issue with those.
Okay, he sounds
They're nothing like the games.
He sounds like the Egyptian badass dude from The Mummy.
Oded, I was him, Oded Fahir, I think?
Yeah.
Oded Fahir?
Yeah.
His
That's
way of talking,
Played him.
apparently everyone from Bravos talks like that. But there's really, with every RPG you have choice, you have a way to do a certain thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like an example, the original Fallout, you could talk your way through a quest, fight your way through a quest, sneak your way through it.
Yeah.
And this the only way is just to go ahead and just do it. It's the most linear RPG I've ever played.
It's kind of boring, yeah.
And
it's all about choices. It's how you make that character your own, you know?
There's the whole point of playing a role, yeah.
There are some choices, and there's I think 7 or 8 possible endings.
Ooh.
Ooh.
But there's really there's no real payoff once you get to said ending, because you'll either end up dead or say on the run, or handing a baby off to an executioner.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it sounds very fun for the homicidal maniac, and it just doesn't capture the the beginning. You're fighting wildlings beyond the wall, and you just feel it. You feel like you're taking on multiple amounts of guys with these piss poor teammates who are just constantly either saying, "We're gonna die, I can't take this, I'm scared, I'm gonna run away," or people who just very bland as characters.
Yeah. Is that the last game you played then?
Oh no, I didn't play. I was going to play it.
Yeah, going to play
But then he didn't because he hates it.
This is true.
Because that game released DLC for about, I think, $5 or $10 that was only about 45 minutes of content.
You bought the DLC as well?
Oh no. Come on, I'm not that stupid.
I was going to say.
He's like, I may have bought Aliens Colonial Marines.
Give me more pay.
I may have bought
I may have bought the
Ninja
season's
from Metal Gear
pass.
Solid. Hit me again. Hurt me.
Hurt me more, dog.
Oh, dear.
Alan's like, I may have bought the season pass for Aliens Colonial Marines, but I ain't gonna buy that crappy Game of Thrones DLC.
You didn't.
I may watch
No wonder your PS3's dying. Just shoveling shit into his mouth all the time.
I may watch 1600 Pen religiously, but I'm not going to buy that Game of Thrones content.
Oh man!
For those of you who don't know, that is a bad show that I seem to love for some reason.
Is that all that you played?
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much.
That's all I played on the Superior machine.
It was a very light week in gaming for me, as you know. I mentioned earlier I had a birthday on Sunday, and
Happy birthday!
oh yeah, there it is. That's what I was looking for. My friend took me out to a basketball game on Monday, which just kind of made me decide I was going to celebrate my birthday all week. So, my girlfriend got me Tomb Raider, which I really appreciated. And I mentioned that on last week's podcast. But since last Wednesday, I've been pretty busy. I went out of town on Friday and Saturday, and I was very busy during the weekend. So really, I've only played a little bit more of Tomb Raider. I mean, so little that, Alan, you'll probably pass me pretty soon. So, and I know that you're not very far, honestly. So, I haven't played too much more Tomb Raider, but regardless of that fact, my Tomb Raider review is still on the site. So, if you want to read about my impressions of the first 2.5 hours of Tomb Raider, then yeah, there you go. Mm-hmm. I suspect that the rest of the game is just as great, so... sorry, listeners. I apologize if you think that's unprofessional, but we are not one of the big name sites. We don't get our games before release, so... And since we're all so busy and we have other things going on, we don't... Not all of us are like Nate. We don't get a chance to beat the game in one sitting. So we try to get a well-informed opinion in the first few hours so that we can bring you the review as quickly as possible. So, yeah, check out that review on VGU.TV. Also check out Nate's review of God of War. New DLC came out for Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the game, and that made me re-download it and play a little online, which really sucked for me because when I deleted the game, I also deleted all of my info, which meant that I deleted all of the progress I'd made with Scott. So I have to start pretty much fresh, which is fine because I got all the trophies that I could get before I deleted. So it's not like I need to do that. But yeah, the new DLC, which we'll kind of touch upon again later, enabled online play. So I played a level online just to see how that rolled. And last night I was like, I want to play something, but and I had to get up early, so I was like, but I don't want to play something that I'll get wrapped up in too long. So I couldn't put in Tomb Raider. So I was like, oh, you know what? Why don't I play some more Spec Ops: The Line? So I played the second chapter in that game, and it's really, really good. I really enjoy it. And yeah, that's it. That's all I've been playing. It's been a really light week, but I'm hoping to kind of step it up this week so we have more. PlayStation Plus deals is our next segment. And I'm trying to call out to you guys, your listeners. Don't you like saving money? You should save some money. With PlayStation Plus, you can get discounts on many games, many movies. You can get great discounts every week. You can get a free game every week. It pays for itself, honestly.
They're passing the savings on to you.
Exactly. During the month of March, every $50 you spend on the PlayStation Network, this actually isn't limited to PlayStation Plus users, but I thought I'd mention this real quick. During the month of March, $50 you spend on PlayStation Network, you receive $10 back. Now, this is not limited to games. If you want to buy TV shows or movies, that money you spend will be included in this deal. It's across the board. You buy an avatar, you buy a theme, you buy a movie, you rent a movie, you buy a TV show.
You buy Walking Dead Survival Instinct like I did.
You get any games, then there you go. You all that money counts towards this credit. But I would be warned. You should keep a calculator handy or a tally or something. And I say this every week, but any new listeners, just be warned. Make sure you add up all your purchases, because you're gonna wonder. Because if you don't, you're gonna wonder yourself, have I spent $50 yet? And it has to be $50. You don't get the $10 back if you spend like $49.99. It has to be an even 50. So if it's like the 31st and you're thinking to yourself, oh man, I got like $2 more before I hit 50. I can get $10 back. Well, fucking find something for $2 then, so that you can get that money
What happens
back.
if you pay more than $50?
Well, then that's just
You just have to hit the sweet spot.
That's just collecting towards the next $50. So, I hope when I have more money, I hope to have more money by the end of the month so that I can get all the Mass Effect 3 single-player DLC. So
Yeah, I've heard the Citadel's going to be really good. So
James Pangello reviewed it on VGU.TV, so check that out.
Gave it an A.
He gave it an A. So yeah, all the single player DLC for Mass Effect 3 is $50 altogether, and I hope that I have enough money to spare so that I can put forth that and get $10 back. Anyway, so this is the part of the show where we talk about our notable PlayStation Store updates. But first we begin with the PlayStation Plus deals. Tom, I'm not completely ready. No, I'm ready. Never mind. I was like I'm opening up my store. I'm like having a tough time. Like, where am I going? So new arrivals in the West, in the North American store. PlayStation Plus users, you get Joe Danger 2, the movie, for free. I've never played Joe Danger. I hear it's pretty good. So, if you want it, go ahead and take it. Like I mentioned earlier, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World game has a new DLC. It enables online play. Also, a new character. You get to play as Wallace Wells, which it was always my favorite character. So, and let's see. I'm looking at these. There are a lot of new PS3 games on sale. Look at that. Then I'll just move this back on up here so I can start at the top. Brothers in Arms Hell's Highway is $14.69 for PlayStation Plus users. All these prices, just FYI, are PlayStation Plus prices, so I don't have to keep repeating it. Brothers in Arms Hell's Highway, $14.69. Call of Juarez Bound in Blood, $9.79. CSI Fatal Conspiracy. If you feel like you really think that's worth your $9.79, then go ahead. Just Dance 3 is $19.59. Michael Jackson The Experience is $9.79. Prince of Persia Classic Trilogy HD is $19.59. Used to have it. A coworker kind of stole it. That's what I get for, working as a door-to-door salesman for vacuum cleaners. Prince of Persia: The Forgotten Sands is $9.79. Rayman Origins, great game, $9.79. That's a good deal. I would pick that up. Shaun White Snowboarding is $9.79. The Adventures of Tintin, the game, is $19.59. Tom Clancy's End War, $9.79. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Advanced Wars, $9.79. Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Classic Trilogy. Oh no, I'm sorry. Let me go back. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Advanced. This is like taking forever. Warfighter 2. There it is. $9.79. Warfighters. Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Classic Trilogy HD, $19.59. Tried to play it years and years ago on the PlayStation 2. Too hard for me. Couldn't do it. But I'm sure it's a very good game. So pick it up. Babel Rising, $4.89. Don't know anything about that game, but $4.89. Cell Factor Psychokinetic Wars, 244. That sounds like a game that is probably not very good, as evidenced by the fact that it's 244. But maybe that doesn't mean anything, because I Am Alive is a bad game, and it's 734. So, Mad Riders is 489. Outland, I don't know, because I already have it purchased. Prince of Persia Classic, lots of Prince of Persia up in here. PSN game, 489. Shoot Many Robots is 489. The Expendables 2 video game, 734.
If you really want that.
Which one?
The Expendables game.
Sounds amazing. What are you talking about?
Oh, yeah, you know.
Schwarzenegger.
If you want to try your luck at Voodoo Dice, you can you just have to pay $244. Asphalt Injection is $13.22. Dragon Hunter Alliance. Oh, see, now we're getting into some PS Vita games. Asphalt Injection, Dragon Hunter Alliance is $13.22. Luminous. I never knew which one that was.
Luminous Electronic Symphony.
Luminous Electronic Symphony, $13.22. So Luminous, that's how you pronounce it. Michael Jackson: The Experience for the Vita, $17.63. Rayman Origins for the Vita, $13.22. That's more than the full game on PS3. So yeah, you should get that on the PlayStation 3. Assassin's Creed Bloodlines is $9.79 if you're interested in that, but it's Assassin's Creed, so who really gives a shit? Brothers in Arms D-Day is $4.89. Here we are, we're getting into PSP games as well, because PSP is still a thing. Driver 76, $9.79. Michael Jackson again, The Experience for PSP, $9.79. Pets with a Z, Dogs with a Z, Family, Pets, Dogs, Family, $14.69. That seems worth your time. Or, you know what? If you'd rather have Pets, Hamsters Bunch, $14.69 as well. So much Prince of Persia Rival Swords, $4.89. The Forgotten Sands for PSP and Vita, $9.79. Tom Clancy's End War, $4.89. Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter 2 for PSP and Vita, $9.79. Splinter Cell Essentials, $4.89. The Call of Juarez Old West map pack is $4.89. If you really think that that's a map pack is worth that much money. And finally, The Expendables 2, all characters full upgrade, $1.46. So,
what's the upgrades?
I don't know.
More roids.
Expiring soon on the North American store. Foosball 2012 for both PS3 and Vita are free. And they're expiring soon. Dungeon Defenders, Bit Trip Presents Runner 2, Future Legend. Those are expiring. Dungeon Defenders is free. All of the games that I listed last week, I believe, or no, all the ones that I listed just now. Never mind. They're all expiring soon, probably next week. So if you wanna grab those, now's your chance. Tom, tell me what came up on the European store, please.
Well, European store, I only go through the notable updates this week. So the Metal Gear Solid HD collection is free for Plus subscribers. So yay! You get that. Then it's only for Vita. So
dang.
Yeah, so all 2 people out there will be happy, I'm sure. But then we also have, and then there's no notable discounts or anything. So we got the demo, the Army of 2, the Devil's Cartels demos out this week.
Mm-hmm.
Looks meh. And Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge demo again looks meh. And that's about it for notable updates this week.
As far as out of the PlayStation Store or out of the PlayStation Plus, Darkstalkers Resurrection is out. It's $14.99. So if you really want to play as Morrigan or Felicia, outside of Marvel vs. Capcom, then here's your chance. Play them in the game that they were famous for. Let's see.
Well, there is a big sale on Resident Evil this week in the EU as well.
Is there?
Yeah, up to 50% off. But yeah, this seems okay price-wise, but nothing too good. And a lot of these aren't available to you Germans because you're afraid of blood. So sorry. It's true. Half the games. That's why Fallout 3 they're not allowed the bloody mess perk and stuff.
Isn't there like was it Germany as well where they turned the Left 4 Dead hand around because they didn't want to show the severed thumb.
Yep. Yeah. Squeamish folks over there.
Yes. Is there anything else notable in the store? Which maybe you might know. Alan, I'm sorry. Took me a second.
No.
Alan's like, nah. No, fuck
nothing
it.
really.
He's like, fuck it.
Oh, there is the PlayStation 2 classic Go Diego Go Safari Rescue. That sounds pretty amazing. God. But that's about it.
And here I was about to exit the store.
I'll get straight on that.
Can't be any worse than Bolt.
I don't know.
Had that story last week, well, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good time. Alright. Well, then I guess if that's that, then let's move on to the news stories, huh?
Or as I call it, This Week in PlayStation.
This Week in PlayStation. Oh,
Very nice.
I like that. Keeping that. I can see Tom editing our drive right now. Let me go ahead and start. The PlayStation the PlayStation Mini Zombie Tycoon is getting a sequel. Developer Freeman Studio announced that Zombie Tycoon 2, Brainhaw's Revenge, will be coming to PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita. It is a full PSN game that is cross-buy and cross-play with the Vita. So, I mean, trophies, which is better than minis.
I'm sure a lot of people were burned by SimCity, so I'm sure Zombie Tycoon's a pretty good replacement.
Yeah, that's definitely gotta be, that's a...
Speaking as someone who bought SimCity, yeah, I'm probably gonna check out this Zombie Tycoon.
I actually met a woman who worked at EA the other night, and I almost wanted to be like, so, I downloaded SimCity, and it's not working. I can't get on the servers. Can I get a refund?
Can you give me the contents of your wallet?
Well, I wanted to say something like, so, how are those microtransactions working? But I digress. I'm just being a dick. Telltale confirmed that they are currently shooting for a fall release for the second season of The Walking Dead, the game. This is exciting news for me, because I love the first one. I don't know what it's going to be about. I don't know if it's going to even have the same characters.
It's going to be zombies.
There's going to be zombies, obviously. But I don't know the intricacies of the details other than kill zombies.
Clementine!
But a fall release, that's good. That's good. And also, let's not forget, I think I mentioned this last week, Gary Whitta mentioned that there was going to be something to kind of ease the wait between now and Season 2. So, look forward to that. Since we've got a fall release for the second season, then it's plausible that whatever Gary would have mentioned, it's probably going to get a summer release. So, alright. My favorite story of the week, Snoop Dogg is getting his own video game.
What?
Yay.
That's right. Echo Peak is developing When I wrote this, I laughed. I couldn't write it down and not laugh. Echo Peak is developing Way of the Dog. With
what?
TVs. It is a rhythm fighting game for XBL, PS3, and mobile items.
Come on!
I can't imagine Snoop Dogg fighting.
Question is...
You clearly didn't play the first True Crime.
Apparently not. I didn't get the bones.
The real question I have is, how are the trophies? This game...
I'm not buying it.
The game is set to drop on April 23rd, along with Reincarnated, the film about Snoop Dogg's transformation into Snoop Lion.
So what you're saying is the sequel to Way of the Dog is Snoop Way of the Lion.
If it wasn't before, Echo Peak is writing it down as we speak.
Whoever I hope it was not Snoop who pitched this, because if it's him, he's losing it in his own.
Oh dear, did you not see him on the Ask Me Anything on Reddit? He's like, nah, I'm Snoop Lion. Like, okay.
I hope he is Snoop Lion, because if he really did come up with this shit... To think, 20 years ago Snoop was a household name. Now there's this?
He'll always be Snoop Dogg.
Exactly. Why mess with the brand?
Snoop Dogg rolls better than Snoop Lion. There's too many syllables in Lion. Who has the time?
Snoop Lion sounds better if it's a rapper who's just lying constantly.
It also does have, needs more, it only has one N in it. It needs a double letter in it. Doesn't look as cool.
Doesn't look as cool. Yeah, so the film...
L-L-Y-O-N.
See,
That's
now...
how, with the way America is right now, that'd be perfect.
I wasn't as pissed off about the game, but I was more pissed off about this movie. Insinuating that Snoop Dogg had an actual... that was the word that was used. Transformation into Snoop Lion. Who do you think you are?
Meth,
you can
not even
say
once.
I've got to find out who wrote this shit.
Transformation. Oh, man. Nate, did you say you're looking this up?
I think someone else is.
I am.
Yeah.
Oh, Allan. Okay.
Okay. It's not what I think it is. It's a documentary.
Yeah. It's a documentary.
He travels
Oh,
to
so he
Jamaica.
actually transformed. It's factual now.
Yes. I mean, he changed... No.
He changed all species.
Transformation is a nice way of saying, I changed my name. So, come on.
Got a
I
haircut.
thought this was what was that movie with Shaq from like the 90s?
Kazam.
Oh,
Yeah, I thought this would be some Kazam shit. Thank God.
Yeah. So, Snoop Dogg gets his own game. Way of the Dog, April 23rd. Buy the Blu-ray and a video game combo pack.
and
Yeah,
VHS.
they are probably going to do that.
Oh, I'm sure they will. Tom, would you like to go ahead?
I will. Do you like Black Ops?
No.
Do you like Black Ops 2?
No.
Well, too bad, because Xbox is getting the new microtransaction purchases first, and we'll have to wait, as usual, because Microsoft has the exclusive rights, as usual. So, yeah.
I just really like, do you like Black Ops? And then I'll just, no. Oh,
Do you
man.
like Borderlands 2?
I do. I still haven't finished it. I bought it the day it came out. I still haven't finished it.
Well, Gearbox has used its Aliens money to release a new DLC called Vault Hunter.
Used its aliens money. The aliens money that Allan paid.
I imagine they have it in like a rainy day jar. It's just a giant box filled with bills.
It's for just to add insult to injury. It's got Alan's name written on all the bills.
Oh dear, you got the season pass. Did you get the special edition as well?
No, thank God I didn't.
Oh, I've seen people
was so
have.
close
Oh, why? Get a nice little statue, I suppose. But dear. Oh, also, Alan, did you redeem your Monster Energy drink armor? Because that's the thing.
Wait, that was a thing?
That's the thing.
Oh man.
Find those codes. Let's see what else. Injustice DLC. Yeah, everyone knows what Injustice is, right?
Gods Among Us.
Yeah. Well, the Blackest Night was announced. The Blackest of Night, the darkest of them, was announced. It's based off the famous Jeff Johns arc from about 2 or 3 years ago, where dead heroes rose from the grave as Black Lantern undead.
Great arc. Great arc.
Great arc.
Yeah,
they weren't necessarily undead.
They weren't quite undead. I didn't know the right way to phrase that, honestly.
Shame.
Okay, I can actually explain this perfectly.
Yay.
Because I just read the shit out of Blackest Night and...
Oh yeah, I mean, I had
Mistake.
so many side issues as well, but I mean, Blackest Night was a great arc.
I have a ton of trades about it. Okay,
Mhm.
so the Black Lantern, well, just like the Green Lantern Corps, there's the Black Lantern Corps, which is
Mhm.
basically one of the many emotional spectrums. Out of the emotional spectrum is
Mhm.
death.
Death.
So it can only possess those who have died. So, say,
Superman, Earth 2, Aquaman was dead at this point.
Sue Dibney,
Martian Manhunter.
Martian Manhunter, poor Martian Manhunter.
There was a great Booster Gold run. A couple of issues of Booster Gold where Ted Kord came back.
I love it. I loved it in where they're like Flash and Green Lantern are on like a building.
Mhm.
The building just gets lifted up. You guys are. Did you guys not forget? I'm stronger than almost as strong as Superman.
Mhm.
I just love it. But only one hero was unable to be risen. That hero, Dove, the original Dove, Don Hall, because he was essentially the white light that the darkness cannot overcome.
I remember one of the best aspects of that arc was Dead Man.
That brought him.
Dead Man's body was risen, but Dead Man was still walking around because
It was really also the return to glory of Dead Man.
hmm Yeah, he got back in the spotlight for a little while. Boston Brand is a very good character. Anyway, so yeah.
Apparently that show is still in the works.
But yeah, so yeah, DLC on the way for that, Blackest Night, so watch out for it. And fun.
I'm not really sold on this because mainly I was still burned from Mortal Kombat vs. DCU. But now I'm like first Red Sun, then this.
Mm-hmm.
They also just announced Doomsday as a character. I just saw on joystick.
Oh my god, I have to buy this.
Red Sun is a great arc as well. Anyway,
Dishonored. That's got some DLC.
Yeah.
Well, that's called Knife of Dunwall is the name of the DLC, and it has a price and a release date. I'll tell you soon. Bethesda has announced that the add-on will arrive on 360 and PC in both America and Europe on April 16th. PS3 will get it on the 16th in America, but Europeans will get it the next day. Oh no. The whole
America!
day. Miracle. It will cost $9.99 or $7.99, and I guess that's American price versus EU price, yeah?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I meant to run in there and
that's right, I hadn't looked at it properly, my bad. And it will let players play as Dord or Dord. I've not played the game, sorry.
I haven't really played it, so I wouldn't know either.
I'll call him Dude. You get to play as Dude, the assassin who killed the Empress at the beginning of Dishonored. Sorry for spoiling that, kids. But yeah.
Oh man.
Spoilers in the first 5 minutes. So.
In other news, for the people out there who didn't get God of War Ascension, guess what? You can't play the Last of Us demo. Haha. But, never fear! Naughty Dog has confirmed that the demo will go live on PSN on May 31st.
May 31st.
We choose to go to the moon.
Okay, Kennedy.
So is the God of War, is the demo available now for those people who bought God of War Ascension, or is it
not
out?
yet. I don't think it's until like April.
No, I was just wondering. I've not heard. I would have seen gameplay from now. I thought, okay, cool.
I think it was the same as like I can't remember because it was a couple of years ago, but I believe when Infamous 2 came out, there was the Uncharted 3 multiplayer beta, and I think that actually had a little lock on it too. We got it early, but we still didn't get it on that release.
Yeah, it happened the same with Dragon's Dogma. It had a Resident Evil 6 demo code, but couldn't redeem it till a certain date. And,
I know.
That demo was bad.
According to my God of War Ascension case, the demo will be available for us on May 7th.
Ooh.
So, a couple weeks earlier.
Yeah, I remember the Dragon's Dogma thing because I was going crazy because Marshall gave me his code because he was like, I'm not gonna fucking play it, and so I took it and was punching it in every other weekend and was like, it don't work until what was it, September or so. So, anyhow, that's most of our news. But there's one more piece of news that I wanted Nate to take control of, and that is the Bros Before Hoes controversy, which will lead us to our talk of the week, which is God of War Ascension. So, Nate, why don't you take it away?
All right. So, I was reading reviews for God of War last week. I believe Polygon put the review out and Joystick. Mm-hmm. And the Polygon reviewer had a really big problem with this one trophy. There's a sequence in the game where you're fighting one of the Furies, which are the main antagonists, and Kratos just beats the ever-living hell out of her with his bare hands, punches her, stomps her, he throws her against this low barrier and just stomps in her face so hard that the barrier bends. Yeah. And of course, I mean, she's she's not mortal, so she's laughing at them the whole time. So it's not she's saying oh, help me or anything like that. So it's not super bad. But after you finish this sequence, you get a trophy, which is called Bros Before Hoes. And the title of the trophy is actually in reference to something else that happens in that same cinematic, where Kratos actually gets rescued from the Furies by another male character. Mm-hmm. So the trophy is oh, haha, Kratos had to get saved from women by this other male character.
Yeah, it's trying to be witty and whatnot.
Yeah, but the timing of the trophy, getting it right after, Kratos gets done brutally beating this woman, is a little rough. So Sony Santa Monica said that they would release a day one patch that would change the name of the trophy to Bros Before Foes. Mm-hmm. Which, is a little less controversial, but, just as edgy, I guess.
Yes.
As of right now, they have not released the patch yet, even though it's the day after release. Playing through the game yesterday, because I reviewed it, I got the trophy, and it was still called Bros Before Hoes, which I also mentioned in my review. I'm not sure what. I mean, I'd like to think it's because, they're having some sort of, licensing issue with Sony, trying to get the patch out or whatever. But yes, as of now, it is still called Bros Before Hoes.
Well, I expected, we were talking about it a little in the chat, and I expect that it's, it came out, and the game came out yesterday. Yesterday is Tuesday. Today is Wednesday, so yesterday was Tuesday, which is usually when the PlayStation Store updates. Now, I don't know how patches work, but I assume that it's kind of the same, it kind of comes through the PSN network. Mm-hmm. So I would assume that it didn't update until later that day when the store updated.
That's probably a good point. Because, I did get the game early in the morning. I got it 11 in the morning, 11 a.m. Mm-hmm. So I guess that would make sense. I should probably go back and check it again. To see if it's an updated name now.
I'll go ahead and check if you want. I was actually going to go check your trophies right now, so you didn't have to interrupt yourself and whatnot.
So the trophy title definitely sparked a lot of controversy. I feel like it was just them trying way too hard to be edgy, because some of the other trophy titles were actually pretty funny. I remember most of the trophy titles, they got a chuckle out of me. Mm-hmm. But that one is just what were they thinking? I mean, yeah, it's clever, and it makes sense given the context of cinematic, but just the overall, phrasing and the exact point at which they put it in the game, like right after Kratos gets done, beating up a woman. Like, that definitely raised some red flags. So yeah.
It actually might be a hidden trophy, so I wouldn't know. But if you want to check that, I was going to say something real quick. As we all know, I believe we had this conversation last week about Tomb Raider, is that none of us think that sexism is okay. We don't like to further any stereotypes. We don't like to single out girls. Girl gamer is not an acceptable term. You never single out a female. They're just gamers. That's who they are. So I was perturbed by this as well. But I am happy to see that Sony Santa Monica is making an effort to change it, and I can tell that they weren't, that it's very unfortunate timing as far as where the trophy pops, and an unfortunate name, and they recognize their error, and I appreciate that they rectified it.
Me too.
Speaking of God of War, this is our topic of the week because it just came out yesterday. It's a PlayStation 3 exclusive. And I think, Nate, you are the only person that's played it in this show.
I know Josh is talking about getting it, but I think right now I think I'm the only one who's actually played it.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, obviously you can't spoil that much.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll try and talk to you about it and try to keep the conversation alive at least for a little while. Because God of War is a great franchise, and I've talked about it a million times. I have a love-hate relationship with it. But please tell us some more about God of War. Kind of guide us through the finer points of your review.
All right. Well, so Ascension, it is a prequel. It takes place roughly 10 years before the events of the first major trilogy. So God of War, the first game. It's a little, it's not entirely clear as to when exactly after, the major heavy stuff happens, Kratos makes his oath with Ares and everything. But I don't think it's too after, because the game makes it pretty clear that those sort of memories are still very fresh in Kratos' mind, and he's very angry about them.
Can I ask you something before you go too far ahead?
Okay.
There is also another God of War game in the series that is a prequel to the first game. It's I believe it's Chains of Olympus, one of the PSP games. Do you know if Ascension is before or after Chains?
I do not. I did not play either Chains or Ghost of Sparta, the PSP ones. So I'm not. Yeah,
I believe it's Chains.
Yeah. So I don't know if Ascension is before or after Chains.
All right. Okay.
I don't know which of the ones it is where Kratos fights his brother.
Well, I believe that's Ghost of Sparta.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I know it's after Ghost of Sparta, because in Ascension they talk about Kratos' brother and how.
Well, Ghost of Sparta is supposed to be after the first one.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. Sony Santa Monica don't know what the hell they're doing.
I just looked it up. It takes place right before the events of God of War: Chains of Olympus.
Okay.
That's God of War. The original.
And again,
Damn you, Tom! I was on that.
Sorry.
The story kind of goes all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's kind of hard to fit it into the typical narrative of the original trilogy.
Yeah.
That being said, I mean, if you can get past the wonky story, I mean, it's a good game. I like what they did with the new sort of combat additions, being able to pick up secondary weapons and use them temporarily. The new essences you get for your chain blades, you can infuse them with the essence of lightning from Zeus or fire from Ares. That's kind of cool. What I didn't like is how they just sort of threw they don't explain why Kratos gets these essences. Basically, come to a big door with the particular god's face on it, and I'll say take this essence of whoever the hell, and now you can do this and such and that, and then that's it. It seems kind of weird how you'd get a power called Fire of Ares when, your Ares is like, your antagonist.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Imagine like Zelda, where Ganondorf gives Link a weapon. I don't. It
It doesn't make any sense, no.
Yeah. But again, it's fun. Again, if you ignore the weird sort of story hiccups, it's a fun game. It's pretty lengthy. I mean, I did beat it in one sitting, but that was one sitting of, at least 8 to 10 hours. I took breaks. I didn't. I'm not some,
sat on
crazy.
the bucket.
And despite all the negative feedback it's been getting, the multiplayer is actually really fun. I think the multiplayer will definitely extend the game's longevity. The co-op mode is really fun. I think the multiplayer does a good job of sort of transitioning familiar systems from the single player into the multiplayer. Like, it's the same basic sort of, control scheme and, setup. There's also a funny little cameo from the single player in the multiplayer, which sort of ties them together, but not really. Like, the multiplayer is supposed to be its own separate sort of entity.
Much like the BioShock 2 multiplayer was.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely looking forward to playing more of it. And yeah, it was a pretty fun game. I mean, you'll notice in my review I gave it a B+. So, it wasn't perfect, but it's definitely worth playing.
For someone like myself who's yet to play a God of War game, would this be a good game to start with since it's a prequel? Or
I think actually surprisingly yes, because Ascension, even though the story is weird, it is very self-contained. It doesn't go off on any order. If you know the basic story of God of War, you can play Ascension and be just fine. You won't be lost, you won't be confused. So yeah.
Yeah. I played the demo for this game, and what I found a big issue I had with that demo was it seemed really hand-holding. I kill a few enemies, and then it'd stop, and then the camera would pan slowly to, here's this thing you can grapple onto, then pan really slowly to the gate, then pan all the way to that jump, and then pan slowly back to me. And it happens about 3 or 4 times.
The game does that throughout. There'll be parts where, you'll come into a new room, and the camera will just, go to different things. And it doesn't explicitly tell you what you're supposed to do, but it sort of hints at it. You'll walk into a room, and the camera will pan up to, a switch, and it'll pan down to, a door. And so you can think to yourself, oh, if I activate this switch, something will happen with, a door open.
Yeah. I took issue with that. I thought it was a bit, it became a bit tedious, and it was only the demo as well.
I mean, it's not as blatantly handheld throughout the whole game.
Yeah.
I agree. In those early parts, because, the demo is actually the first level of the actual game.
Okay.
So it makes sense that, they would, be very, in your face, this is how you do this, and this is how you do that. Because that is, the demo
course,
level, the prison is actually the first level of the game.
Yeah, that's the tutorial section, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, all of the games, except I think, 2 kind of did that whole thing with the zooming in and out and panning over and whatnot. 2 was really hard. I remember 2 being very hard, especially that big old chamber that I wish I had more adjectives to use to describe. But it was not very long after you got the wings.
Yeah.
How are the trophies? That's always my question.
Most of the trophies are tied to the story. In my playthrough, I got I think 21, 22 trophies. There's still a couple I actually haven't gotten though. There's most of the trophies are just for getting to story milestones, and then there's certain trophies for meeting certain conditions in certain parts of the game. There's this one part where there's a puzzle where you're in this big hollow chamber, and there's these big fire jets that are periodically shooting out from the sides, and you're going up with this big elevator and you're fighting enemies, and there's a trophy where if you don't get hit by any of the flames, that's a trophy. And it's for that one puzzle that's in one part of the game. So most of the trophies are either story related or beating certain puzzles in the single player campaign under certain conditions. I think for the multiplayer, there's a trophy for completing the tutorial and a trophy for getting to level 20, and I think that's it for the multiplayer. All the other trophies are single player.
Yeah, I know that I'm not a fan of multiplayer trophies. And I was actually looking. I wanted to see how much you got, and it looks like you got 58%. That's not a bad number for the story.
Mm-hmm.
So, probably God of War is a fairly easy platinum. The hardest trophies are the Titan Challenge and the hardest difficulty in any game, in any of the games. So it looks like this is no different. Mm. So that's good. That's good. And what was your score?
B+.
B+.
Well, can I just say, you said you're enjoying the multiplayer. Does it feel at all tacked on though still? Because there's a lot.
No, it feels very, very natural.
Yeah.
I think it does take some getting used to. Like when you first start up, like you do this little tutorial, like you fight like this NPC opponent, like it teaches you because the whole idea is that there's sort of a rough like rock paper scissors format, like certain attacks beat other defenses.
Yeah.
Like when you're doing certain actions, like your character will glow a certain color. Like if you use like an unblockable attack, your character will glow red. So like if you see someone glowing red, get the hell out of the way. But I think once you get those basics down, like once you learn to know what to watch for and know how to respond, it's very fun, and it's a unique sort of take on multiplayer. And again, if you're not really into the competitive mode, there is the co-op Trial of the Gods, which is pretty fun. And for Trial of the Gods, it's funny. There's actually 3 different maps. One of them you actually so there's one reference to God of War 3. In one of the co-op maps, I think it's a competitive map too. I didn't play it competitive, but one of the co-op maps is the Amphitheater of Hercules, and there's actually Hercules from God of War 3.
Oh yeah. That was also in the beta.
Yeah, and you fight him. So like as you're fighting other monsters, periodically Hercules will like jump down and fight you for a bit. I'm assuming I haven't been able to beat any of the Trial of the Gods yet, but I assume he's the final boss of that level.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's unique, it's fun. Definitely takes some getting used to. I would recommend playing the single player first, just so you're used to the controls, and then hopping into the multiplayer. But yeah, it's definitely, I don't think it deserves a lot of the criticism it's been getting. I think it's very fun.
I remember Hercules being one of the best fights.
Oh yeah.
3. Yeah.
I was really happy to see him in this one.
Is there anything else that we want to talk about as far as God of War is?
Well, what are the biggest changes from gameplay point of view, from God of War 3 to Ascension that people have noticed, apart from the picking up of weapons?
He's thinking. He's like, hold on, let me just this. He's like, let me pull up my review because I don't remember. That's what I do. I'm like, I can't remember.
Because you said, picking up weapons, you said, and the doors that give you extra powers, but is there anything else different from God of War 3?
Some of the new environmental elements, there's this new every now and then you'll do this sliding minigame where Kratos will be in a steep incline, he has to slide down, and he uses one of his blades to kind of steady himself. It's kind of like a typical kind of platformer game. You have to steer to avoid obstacles and jump over pits. Those are actually really fun. They happen frequently enough that they definitely help break up the pacing, but not frequently enough that they feel overused. I think in total there's maybe 6 or 7 points throughout the campaign where those sliding puzzles happen. And yeah, and you also get a couple auxiliary tools that help you solve a puzzle. Because the one I talked about in my review, the Amulet of Ouroboros, which allows you to decay or heal certain parts of the environment. So you come across a collapsed bridge and you can heal it to restore the bridge and cross it. There's other tools like that. There's actually 3 in total, but I want to save the other 2 because they're kind of spoilery. But there's 3 in total. The Amulet of Ouroboros is just one of them.
Ouroboros. Capcom's not going to be happy with that. They use that in Devil May Cry 2 and Resident Evil 5.
Yeah.
But they definitely help to sort of mix up the gameplay and force you to kind of think a bit when it comes to solving puzzles. Like, there's definitely points where, like, I'd be struggling with a puzzle for a couple minutes, and then I'd remember, oh, I can do this thing with this tool, and then that would be the solution. So it definitely does a good job of, forcing you to kind of, slow down and think and work your way through these puzzles and try different things, which is good. No, the puzzles are definitely sort of the things that I've always appreciated about the God of War series. And this one doesn't disappoint, or doesn't fail to disappoint, or whatever. They're good.
That's good. I think what you meant was it doesn't disappoint. So
yeah. Nah, it doesn't fail to disappoint.
It doesn't neglect to disappoint, so it does?
The
time. That's good. That's good. I thought I would go ahead and talk a little bit, because I was kind of quiet. Allan was kind of quiet as well. And so I thought we'd kind of have a joint topic of the week, and talk a little bit about Tomb Raider as well. Because Allan and I have actually played it. If that's all right with you guys, or if not, we can just save it for next week. What do you think?
No, Tomb Raider's fine, yeah.
All right. Because, both of those reviews came out this week, so I thought we'd go ahead and talk about both. Allan.
Matt.
We played Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
If you were reviewing the game, what score would you give it thus far?
Definitely an A-.
An A-? I gave it an A. So, you're wrong. And I'm better than you. I wanted to address something, because we were talking about the Bros Before Host trophy earlier, and how we don't like sexism and whatnot in games. I mentioned this last week about how I put up an article a long time ago after E3 about the top 6 females in gaming, strong female characters, and how I would be prepared to add Lara Croft onto that list, because everybody was upset about that trailer where the guy grabs her throat and whatnot, and it looks like he's about to rape her, and everybody's like, oh man, no, so you're gonna a girl has to be helpless and is about to get raped for a guy to care about her or something, something like that. I don't remember exactly, but everybody was up in arms. So I wanted to kind of touch on that. I touched on this in my review, but I thought I'd go ahead and say it here as well. I'm pretty sure that you've reached that part, Allan, as well, when Lara's hands are bound. So I put this in my review. I'll go ahead and talk about it. These are mild spoilers. Very mild. This is in the first, Allan, hour and a half of the game.
Yeah.
And they're very mild. It's not like really big story spoilers here. But if you want to go into Tomb Raider clean and you don't want to know anything about it, then, go ahead and skip this part. But in that, I'm just kind of leading up to that point in the trailer that everybody was really upset with, thought it was very sexist, thought it was not right, and I wanted to kind of talk about it and kind of ease your suspicions if you're still kind of like, I refuse to play that game because of this. Anyway, people were angry, but the scene in particular is simply Lara trying to get away from these hostiles as they're distracted while taking her prisoner. They take her prisoner, she has her hands tied behind her back, and Allan, what is it that distracts the hostiles? I can't remember. They get distracted by something, some kind of explosion.
Someone tries to escape, isn't it? I watched a death montage.
Oh, did you? I don't remember what they get distracted by, but they get distracted, and Lara is trying to get away. She can't use any of her weapons because her hands are still tied behind her back. So she kind of ducks into this wooden shack over on the side. And the guy, the guy in question that puts his hand on her throat, passes the shack, and she kind of controls her breathing. She's like, "Oh my god!" And he looks over and spots her, tries to drag her out, and he puts his hand on her throat. And what we realize at this point is that he's not trying to rape her; he's just trying to kill her. And Lara is far from helpless. Before he can even say a word, she knees him in the groin and gets the hell out of there. And I'm really proud of Crystal Dynamics for, I mean, let's be honest, they didn't handle that whole situation when it came up very well. But, I mean, without spoiling anything, they really couldn't say anything. They just had to sit and be like, it makes sense in context of the game, but, and it does. It does make a lot more sense, and it's not sexist, and I really appreciate that. I also appreciate that they canceled out. They decided against reusing Lara's booty shorts, and opted for some more practical pants. So, because it's raining and snowy, and the weather is ridiculous on that island, and shorts would not help her at all. So, but yeah, I really enjoyed. I'm really enjoying Tomb Raider. I haven't gotten a lot of chance to play it. It's a beautiful game. The environments, like I said, the island. One of the things you realize about this island is that the weather is very erratic, and there's something going on this island. I haven't gotten very far, as I said, but in the 2 sections that I've been in, it's been pouring down rain in one, and blanketed in snow in another. So, it's a very beautiful environment. The island feels very alive, when you look at it. So, wouldn't you agree, Alan? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, the entire time I was playing, I was just waiting for the smoke monster to appear.
Lost?
Yeah.
I don't know if you agree with me. I mentioned this in the review. I thought that the rain on camera effect, there were a lot of water droplets on the camera. It was a little distracting. Did you feel that, or were you just like, you were in it? Whatever.
I was in it to win it.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't like, man, what's with all this fucking water? But I was still like, man, there is just a lot of rain on this camera. It was a little distracting, but
I don't get it. Is the camera in her pocket or something?
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, but I also like the experience system. I really like the base camp system, and otherwise, I mean, I guess that's pretty much it for me. Is there anything that you really wanted to bring up? I can also mention, speaking of God of War multiplayer, Tomb Raider multiplayer is, it's very lackluster. It's not very good.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that.
I mean, it plays out like unlike normal deathmatch, but it's not that good.
I saw a gameplay video. It looked a lot like a mode from Uncharted, like Gold Rush. It looked a lot like that, one of the modes.
Kind of. I played a deathmatch where, I think it was teams of 4, and there was the survivors, and then there were the locals, and it's very hard to do. I don't know what it is. Maybe I need to mess with my sensitivity, but the shooting is a little shaky. So for me, I thought maybe it was just because Lara's inexperienced, but maybe it's me that's inexperienced. So I thought they were trying to do some realistic, oh well, she's never really had to handle a gun before now, so you're a little shaky, kind of like we do with the sniper rifles in most games. But I don't know. But like I said, the multiplayer, it's kind of lackluster. It feels a lot like multiplayer that you've already seen before. So you're not really missing much, and it's okay. If you want to play a couple rounds, you might think it's fun, but me personally, it's like I always have Uncharted. So
that game got an online pass?
I believe so. Yes, I think it does. I can't remember honestly.
Yeah, God of War does.
God of War does, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Alan, was there anything that you wanted to mention about Tomb Raider? Something really good.
I just love games that have a bow and arrow.
Oh, do you?
Why can't it be, why can't it be in more stuff? If not that, then just a crossbow.
It's
Yeah, Skyrim. That's the whole thing. I've modded. Hell, I even got a crossbow mod for Skyrim because I just want it.
I'm excited for
That's the whole reason I'm getting Walking. That's pretty much the whole reason I'm getting Walking Dead next week.
Oh. I don't know. I really like it. The story is phenomenal as well. And yes, the bow and arrow is badass. I love using it. I love just like sneaking up on people and shooting them in the head. It's one of my favorite parts. But as far as the story goes, I was mentioning that. As far as the story goes, it's very, very good. I mentioned this in the review. And I think it's the best accurate description. I don't know if you'd agree with me, Alan, but I said that a lot of people might compare Tomb Raider to Uncharted because it's been like this for a long time. I mean, I even saw an image as I was searching for images to put in the review. There was an image of like a Tomb Raider box that said Uncharted 4. So, and I said a lot of people will compare it to Uncharted, but I think other than the platforming, it's not really similar. And I put it this way that Uncharted is about adventure, while Tomb Raider is about survival. I don't know if you would agree with me on that.
Yeah. Also, it's also much more real. It's more realistic than Uncharted.
Yeah.
You massacre entire people as Nathan Drake. As Lara, just the simple thing of shooting killing a few animals.
Yeah.
There's more weight to that.
Yeah, the little animation after the first time when you kill your first deer after you find the bow and arrow. It's she really feels remorse after killing the deer.
Quick question.
No,
carry on. I thought you finished talking.
Oh no, I was just saying that. I mean, it's not obviously you can't take a break after each round of shooting or whatnot for Lara to be like, man, this really sucks. I don't want to shoot these people or these animals. But I mean, you can still kind of feel that she feels bad about this and she doesn't like killing. So, but that's what I was gonna say. Go, please. What's your question?
I was just gonna ask, how much actual tomb raiding do you do in this game? Yeah, I've heard a lot about this island and water on the screen, but
in Tomb Raider, they did something different. Now, I'm sure that there are some in the campaign, but there are several tombs in the map that you have to actually look for. Like they're kind of tucked away,
Are they optional then? Kind of like secrets or?
I think they are optional, but I mean,
why wouldn't you want to go?
Why wouldn't you want to go
raiding some tombs?
But I mean, what's the benefit of going in there?
Treasure's an experience.
And what does treasure do? Is it just a collectible?
It's a collectible. It gives you more experience, I believe. Right. And you need experience to kind of upgrade all your skills and whatnot, so that you're better and collect more salvage, so that you can upgrade your weapons and all that. But
I found a mask, just a simple mask, and just by turning it over, you discover white powder.
Yes,
Damn,
I saw that too. I saw that too. I don't know if you ever played it, Fatal Frame, but that mask reminded me of Fatal Frame.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But yeah, they're kind of tucked away. You gotta kind of find them, much like I'm sure regular tombs are. They're not really
There's no sign saying Tutankhamun resting right here.
Yeah, right over here. But when you do find them, you go in there and there's this big puzzle that you gotta do when you go in there, so that you can get to the treasure. And I really like that. I stood in a tomb for about 20-30 minutes before, just thinking to myself, jumping around, being like, what am I doing? Pressing the trigger, trying to use my instincts. Which is a feature I didn't mention. When you press the trigger, everything turns black and white. It's your survival instinct feature. and
It's
things that
sort
you
of
can...
like detective mode from Batman.
Yeah, kind of. But the things that you can interact with glow brighter. So, you know, they kind of serve as hints. But yeah, I spent like 25 minutes in a tomb just like, what am I doing? Because I couldn't, because the puzzles are pretty challenging in those. So, as far as, you know, the collectibles and the tombs and whatnot, they're fun to do, and they're fun to collect, and which is always great for a game. Like, if you have collectibles, sometimes they're a pain in the ass to find. I think it was Mafia 2, which I platinumed. You know, they have all these wanted posters. It's like 150 wanted posters of just, you know, the staff on the game. And one of them is like on a rooftop that you can only access if you're on the freeway nearby, and you crash through the guardrail at just the right velocity so that you don't fly off, hit and don't under or overshoot it, so that you can actually land on the roof. It's a real pain in the ass, and especially since there's you know, after that there's 149 more. It's a real pain to find them all. But the collectibles like the blast shards in Infamous and the treasures in Uncharted, and you know, and now, you know, the collectibles in Tomb Raider, they're fun to find and they're fun to collect. So I always kind of give a commendation to a game that has those, you know. I think that's really all I wanted to mention. I'm kind of scrolling through my review, just making sure that there aren't any other points that I wanted to talk about. But it's a beautiful game. I wanted to like the fire when you light your torch. It looks very realistic. I actually put in my notes when I was writing pros and cons. Under pros, I just put "look at the fire." So, but yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah. So, Tomb Raider. Do you guys have any more questions that you might want to?
Where could we find your review?
It's at VGU.TV. I'm so glad you asked. It's at VGU.TV. Scroll on down. I'm not in the slider for one reason or another. But I'm down under recent articles. So,
and under reviews now as well. So.
And under reviews. So, yeah. So definitely check that out. Check out Nate's God of War Ascension review. Mm-hmm. And now it's time for the community corner. You guys ready for that?
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
People.
Here's where we're going to start. We're going to start with the questions that have been asked to us. And then we'll get to the question of the week. So, first off, Albert. Albert actually asked these questions last week, but I didn't see them until after we ended the show. So I'm getting to them now. Albert asks, where do you think or want the Uncharted series to explore next? What do you guys think?
It should explore the bed and go to sleep. End it.
You think that it should be over?
Yes.
Or at least a long nap.
Yeah, exactly. It's done. I said this in a different podcast when we were asked a different question.
I think we mentioned this a while back.
But yeah, I think Uncharted's run its course, and I think to add more games would just dilute the quality.
I think it's fair to say that. Yeah, I mean, like we mentioned weeks ago, Naughty Dog has a reputation of doing a trilogy each generation, and since the PlayStation 4 is coming up, I'm okay with them, you know, doing something completely new for PlayStation 4. So, but in case any of you guys don't agree, do you have a differing opinion? Where would you like to see them explore next?
I agree too. I like how they're continuing to support Uncharted 3 with the free-to-play multiplayer and all the new community events and stuff. But yeah, I think the trilogy was a good was good on its own. I don't think they really need any more games to, expand on that.
And I think 3 kind of ended well enough that you could just kind of be like, okay, well, we're done.
Yep.
Spoilers. Nate and Elena are back together.
Oh, that is a spoiler.
Sully is not dead.
Yes, he is. He died.
He didn't die. They just thought he did.
So many spoilers.
So many spoilers. Uncharted 3 came out like November of 2 years ago. So
I only completed it this January, so
well, lucky you.
It's a shame.
You should have said something before, but at least you finished it. Let's see. I guess nobody else agrees. Alan, did you think that Uncharted should end, or?
In the words of the ghouls of Necropolis from Fallout 1, the series should take a dirt nap.
Well, all right. Pulling out Fallout references.
I
actually kind of agree. I kind of went either or a few weeks back when we were talking about that, but I've kind of thought about it, and I think that as much as I love Nathan Drake and I love Uncharted, that Uncharted doesn't need any more titles. It's kind of all right where it lays. So, yeah, I mean, this question's kind of nullified because we don't think that it should go anywhere.
Sorry,
Al. Sorry, Albert. But that's okay. You still got 2 more questions, and they're pretty good ones. His next question, what would you name your own game studio if you had one? I know, obviously, we'd want to name it Utopia Entertainment.
VGU.TV, hey.
VGU Entertainment, eh?
Go to the forums, eh?
Dual Shot Games.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
I think we'll run into a few licensing problems.
Sony might have a problem with that.
They're like, they just call us up and they're like, hey, that's not cool.
We're suing you. Shut down.
Just spell it really badly.
Yeah. You just have, no C in the shock.
It has a French pronunciation.
You do the French, so it's it's just the C.
It's not even dual, it's just D-U umlaut L.
Take that, Sony.
Yes. On a serious note, I don't know if you guys have any serious answers. That's a tough question.
Yeah.
I'll just be boring and say I'd probably go after my little gaming hobbyist name. Just say, they call it Gaming Hobbyist, presented by, that'd be it for a game studio name.
Yeah. It's a very tough question. Because when you think about it, that's it's your own game studio. It's something that, people are going to see.
That's your media empire.
Years and years. It's your media empire. It's years and years. You can't really change it once you've got it and established it. So
can't be like Snoop
Dogg. Yeah, you can't be like Snoop Dogg. You can't be like Way of the Dog Enterprises.
I don't know about you guys, but I've played Game Dev Story a lot.
Oh yes.
And my game development studio is called Actipro.
Yeah.
There's really nothing that can be done against me legally for that name.
Josh.
I'm just buying a license. I'm buying a domain right there.
Josh Mobley, CEO and host of VGU Gamercast, plays a lot of game dev story as well. So knowing him, his game studio has something involving dicks. So. Oh yeah, his games are stuff like Dick-tective, Wiener Mage, Cock Warlock, all that, They're just
very good.
Wiener Mage has always been my favorite because it just sounds so ridiculous. So yeah, we don't.
Yeah, just spell it like the Wii.
Honestly, I'd have to go with Josh and name it something after dicks because dicks are funny. So, my favorite question though from Albert. today is, what Xbox game / series would you like to see on the superior console, the superior machine?
So, AKA, what bad games do you want to shove in Alan's machine? I'm joking. I don't have an issue.
It's like, why's it got to be mine? Because it's not like it's going to play them anyway.
He enjoys bad games.
In all honesty, what series is there? Because they only have like Halo and Fable.
Well, I wrote down a few answers because, I mean, they're not really Xbox exclusive, but games on the Xbox that aren't on PS3, so it's essentially the same. But I'd like Witcher 2, because I think that game looks really good, and I'm dying for an RPG, a good RPG. And Minecraft, because I want to know what's up with all this hype and stuff, and my laptop would explode again.
Well, Minecraft is supposed to come to PlayStation 3. We actually mentioned it last week. Yeah, well, you weren't here, so but you can listen to that episode and check it out.
Rate and review us on iTunes.
Get through our archives. our 5-episode archive. I personally wouldn't mind getting trophies in Gears of War. So I did enjoy that series. I would play it one more time. I wouldn't try to platinum any of them because I'd be like, who really gives a shit? But
in all honesty, though, imagine Halo being made by Guerrilla.
Guerrilla would do a very good job with Halo. They'd make it very pretty, but
very brown.
I would not want to play the first two again. Fucking 3 was the only one that I enjoyed. So, but I would like to play 4 at some point. But if only there was a way that it could come to the PlayStation, but it won't. So, but yeah, my answer is Gears of War. I enjoyed the series, and I wouldn't mind playing it again for some trophies. I wouldn't platinum them because I don't care, but I would like to get the trophies that I could get. So, Nate, did you have an answer? I don't think you said anything.
I'm pretty much same as you. Like, I would love to see Gears of War. I enjoyed the original trilogy. I would love to have the money to spare to get Judgment because it actually looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
But whatever. But yeah, Gears of War definitely.
Yeah, if I still had my Xbox, I would like to play Judgment as well. I had actually planned on, just playing it on Josh's Xbox, and then he sold his too. So, anyway,
there actually is an Xbox, like original Xbox game I would like to play as a PS3 or PSN game.
Oh, really?
The first KOTOR.
Oh, yeah.
See, yeah, I played that on my laptop, so I'm fine. I want to Morrowind more.
You know what else? It's a lesser-known original Xbox game, but I'd love to be able to play it again, and I'd love to be able to play it on PlayStation, is Armed and Dangerous. Have you guys ever heard of that?
Yeah, I've heard about that.
I have heard of that.
My brother-in-law had that game, and it was just the most fun time that we'd ever had. We were just, me and my brother would play a little bit of it, and we were just cracking up at the story, Mm-hmm. Oh man, I miss that game.
Turning everything upside down, literally.
Yeah, the shark gun and whatnot, which now is like in Saints Row. So, but
they really don't make games like they used to.
Yeah,
Postal.
But I mean, I remember Postal. I remember though, the part where the old man got like frozen or something, and they had to stick him in I think it was a rhino's ass. Nice. and like he's just hanging out, his legs are just hanging out, and then he finally falls out, and he's like, "Are you okay?" He's like, "It's like I've been born again."
Lovely.
Yeah,
that's a game that.
But that kind of juvenile humor is what cracks up how old were we? I think I was 15 and he was 13, respectively. So, yeah. So, Hero asked us a question, Tom.
Yep. He asked me over Skype because I know him personally. But with the announcement of the new Assassin's Creed, Black Flag, where and when would you like to see a future Assassin's Creed game?
I mean, I personally don't care. So, but if I had to, just to expedite this this fucking process, I'd say the present day, so we can get done, so that I don't have to see any more Assassin's Creed games.
So we can just get it over with?
Because I'm sick of seeing this. I'm just so tired of Assassin's Creed. It's like, who cares? It just keeps going. How many more Animus are there? So, what about you guys?
I wouldn't mind seeing maybe ancient China or some other Asian, maybe Japan or something like that. I think there's a lot of
a samurai assassin.
Basically, I think there's a lot of culture and lore within that sort of framework that I think an Assassin's Creed game could definitely work within that time period.
Yeah, maybe the assassin is messing around with Confucius and whatnot.
Yeah.
Smoking some opiates. There's a great, I got Game Informer in a couple days ago, and there was a little Assassin's Creed 3 quiz in there, and it was like, you think you know history? Well, guess again. It was like, when?
Jack.
Oh man, I love that game too. Actually, before I forget, there's an app on iOS for you to know Jack, and I've been playing that every day.
I am not buying that.
It's free, so yeah, even better. But yeah, it was like, think again. Assassin's Creed 3 revealed the real version of the iconic events surrounding the origins of America. And then every question is who did this? Who did that? And then there's an actual the real answer. And then every question, one of the answers is Connor. And then if you look in the answer key, it's Connor. It's always Connor. This is Assassin's Creed, fucking with your history.
It's a funny little throwback to the fact that in the game, Connor is just present for every major historical event ever.
He's the Forrest Gump, isn't he?
Yeah, they call it the Forrest Gump effect.
Yeah. Alan, Tom, are you interested in putting an assassin somewhere?
In the bin, but I'd say I'd say some sort of Western Assassin's Creed could work. That would be back in the old West. You could pretend to be a bandit in the lovely white cloak and go around being ridiculed. I think that'd be good.
Ubisoft is just writing down madly. They're like, "Western Assassin's Creed 5."
The one I want, I wouldn't play it myself, but I would definitely hand it off to someone who would, which I don't think I could find.
Assassin's Creed, aliens, colonial marines.
Dinosaurs.
I have one serious answer and one joking answer. The joke answer would be set it in the future during the time period of Futurama.
Oh.
And the serious answer would be the Dark Ages.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I'm surprised I haven't even done that. They've been releasing games ever since 07. They've not done that.
They are French.
And I mean, when you think about it, if they're still moving through the future, they've lost their fucking chance at this point.
Well, they are going, Black Flag is, sort of going back because you play as Ethan.
Yeah, well, only about 60 years, but yeah.
So you play as Connor's grandfather.
Oh, wow.
So technically, they're it's weird. They've been going forward, and now
they're like, well, let's go back.
Yeah. So they could go back even further if they wanted to, I guess.
Oh my god, I just got it. Assassin's Creed, Nazareth.
Well, there you go. Oof. That's going to be Assassin's Creed 6 right after Tom's Western.
You just put an assassin in the Last Dinner.
Who really killed Jesus?
It's like, what's his real name? Judas.
They just Photoshop Connor with just the coins around his neck.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So that's all the questions that we got. But we also do a thing called Question of the Week. And last week, we asked you, the listeners, we were talking about the PlayStation Vita and how we wish that the West would get a price drop. But we talked about that, and then we asked you guys if you could give the PlayStation Vita a realistic price cut, what would you price it? And we got a few answers, mostly from my Facebook, so just 3. Albert came in and he was like, $175, an impressive piece of hardware. My friend Elaine said, free. And then she said, honestly though, like $150. Which is actually like much less than we said. We said something along the lines of like $200 to $210.
Yeah. $199 I think would be a good one.
Yeah. And then my friend Joey came in and he said, probably my favorite answer, he said, I prefer my Game Gear. So there's that.
Hey, I had 3 PSPs die during Hurricane Sandy. My Game Gear survived.
Well, I mean,
that's it.
The Game Gear. Oh, excuse me. The Game Gear. The Game Gear compared to present day handheld is like the Nokia phone compared to smartphones.
I still have my Nokia and I still use it.
Now this week's question is we're kind of drawing on the most recent roundtable that we did on VGU.TV.com. Or not .com. VGU.TV. There's a roundtable up. So for this week's roundtable. Oh, I do hear you. You have the balls. That's gone. I'm going to talk now. For this week's roundtable, we looked at our favorite gaming trilogy. So we're asking you guys, the listeners, what's your favorite PlayStation exclusive franchise? That's what we're asking you. As far as exclusive franchise for PlayStation, I would say my favorite is... Oh man, it's a really tough one between Uncharted and Infamous. I'd say Uncharted. It's more consistent. Infamous, like, I liked the first one, and the second one was way better, so, like, it kind of eclipsed my love of the first one. So, Uncharted, definitely. What about you, gentlemen?
Who's going first?
I would definitely go with... I'm kind of split between either God of War or Ratchet.
Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, I've got that down, yeah.
What about you, Nate?
Probably God of War. I mean, I really liked the first Infamous. Never played the second one. I liked it, but I've played most of the God of War games, and I've liked pretty much all of them, so I'd say God of War.
Infamous 2 is amazing. Definitely.
Yeah, I gotta get around to playing it at some point.
What about you, Tom?
Oh yeah, mine's Ratchet and Clank, but as long as it's the core trilogy and the core games to do, because I find all the offshoots are just crap, and I mean even the better offshoots are still crap. So I mean, yeah. So the future trilogy and the original core trilogy, I hope they continue next console, but I doubt it. That's my favorite PlayStation franchise.
Excellent.
I guarantee one we will not hear Resistance.
No. Well, I think because now
3 was the only good one.
Then they canceled it.
Yeah, they're like, well, we're done. which is a pain, which is too bad. Nathan Hale was just a bad protagonist. I hated him.
Resistance 2 was a bad game.
Resistance 2 was a bad game. I didn't like the first one either.
I quite liked the first one. I just thought 2 was just like, well, it was all over the place. Tried to be serious, but had more cartoony graphics.
What, you didn't like using your PlayStation 3 controller to whip people with the butt of your gun?
Oh, man, I remember playing
I used that as a selling point.
It was one of my first games, and I used to play online a lot with my friends, and there's this gun that could set people on fire, and for the longest time I didn't realise. I thought once you got put on fire, you just had to slowly die. It was like, that was it. So for the longest time, I was just like dying really slowly as soon as someone set me alight. But if you shake your controller, you extinguish the flames. So I was pretty pissed when I found that.
To be fair, that was back when Sony really had a hard-on for 6-axis.
Yeah. Really driving that 6-axis home, I tell you.
Still.
All right. So that is our question of the week to you, listeners. What is your favorite PlayStation exclusive franchise? Thank you very much for listening to VGU.TV's PlayStation podcast, DualShock. Please visit the site, VGU.TV. You can also find us over on Facebook and hang out on our forums on VGU.TV, or tweet at us at VGU.TV. You can also find us on YouTube at VGU.TV Official, where you'll be able to find this podcast, as well as, the iTunes, but because we like to remain consistent, it's also going up on the YouTubes. So look for it at VGU.TV Official. DualShock also has a Facebook and Twitter. You can find us at DualShock Show for both. That's all one word. Or if you want to tweet us individually, Nate is at Nate Hohl. That's NateHohl. Allan is at the Allan Muir. That's TheAllanMuir. I am at Mattman07, and Tom is at Gaming Hobbyist. Tom is trying to tell me to like and subscribe to our iTunes under DualShock Show. So do that, please. 5 stars. That would really help. That's what he's trying to tell me. Anything else you want to say, Tom?
No, that's fine. I was trying to edit it afterwards. Because
if you want to play on PSN with any of us, join Nate on God of War multiplayer. He is a posed crow. Allan is that Jew boy. He won't be playing anything with you for any time soon, thanks to Homefront. I'll try and play some stuff with you. I don't know what we'll play. I've got so much to play. Maybe you can help me get back into Borderlands too. I am Mattman310. Tom is back in an X. He's Pie Guy, Pie_guy. That's Pie Guy, the guy of the pie. So if you want to hang out with him, play some Grand Theft Auto 4, Dark Souls, do that.
GTA, anything. I'm not bothered.
Thank you again for listening to DualShock, and we'll see you next time. Never stop playing.